Welcome to Turn the Page, the official podcast of the Syosset Public Library.
Hello, this is Jessica Chotan with Turn the Page at Syosset Public Library, and I am here interviewing Jay Max and Alicia Angel, his songwriting partner. And hello, how are you?
Great, how are you?
You're wonderful.
I'm doing well, and I just had the pleasure of witnessing both of you guys chat at our Long Island Library Conference about what you do. So why don't you tell everybody what you do?
Okay, so we are songwriters. We do pop music. We're working on a lot of projects in Asia right now, in the Asian market with Universal Music Publishing. And we also do a ton of kids' music. So we work, we've done 30-something songs for Dora the Explorer and Dora and Friends on Nickelodeon, as well as some songs for Sesame Street and Sesame Studios, NBC Universal Kids. Am I leaving anything out?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, it's fun.
It was a lot of fun to watch. And I'm really happy to be talking to you guys here.
Us too.
Thank you.
So one question I wanted to ask, and I guess this is going to go to Jay, because you, like me, graduated from Syosset High School.
We have a history.
We do have a history, yes.
It goes back to 9th grade.
Yes, it does go back to 9th grade. And I know you were always into music. And as an alum from Syosset, I mean, Syosset has seen so many people come out. You know, you have Adina Menzel and Natalie Portman, of course.
Judd Apatow.
Judd Apatow, yes. Yeah. And how do you feel that, or do you feel that your opportunities at Syosset helped you along in your career?
Well, I have to say that I do feel very grateful that I got to go to Syosset for the fact that the arts programs there were very well funded. They were a huge part of the curriculum. They weren't necessarily looked at as expendable or a side thing. I mean, our senior musical, for instance, that was a huge production. I mean, this was like pre-Glee. And, but it was like that level that we had sets brought in from Ohio, I think. It was rotating. I hadn't done a lot of theater before that, but I ended up being one of the leads in the musical.
Yes.
And so just being able to do stuff like that, even though it wasn't necessarily related to songwriting, the experience of being part of a choir, like our chorus, we traveled all over. We went to Florida. We went and performed in front of different politicians. And so, it gave me a foundation and a love for music that I was able to carry into when I eventually afterwards went down the route of being a performer and now a songwriter.
That's great to hear. And I know, Alicia, you'd been talking before about just the importance of music education and your concerns about it being cut in certain schools across the country. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, it's just something that we have become more and more aware of. Programs are being cut, and I think, music education also helps academically with math and science scores, I believe. And so we're actually working on a TV series, animated preschool series, that we are going to be having meetings this month with networks about to try to fill that void.
Yeah, because it's music-based.
It's a music-based
show. And because we really want to bring the importance of that back to television, but then to schools as well.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Sorry. That's great. And it's just so nice to see just your passion for what you do. And, you know, as somebody with a background as a children's librarian, I know that music is just so key to pretty much everything children soak up and how they learn. So I really just want to thank you guys for taking the time to come and talk. And
For having us.
Yeah, this was wonderful.
This
This was
amazing,
great.
yeah.
And I have to tell our audience we are actually live at the Long Island Library Conference right now. So if you hear background noise and hustle and bustle, that is what is going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity here.
There
I
is,
didn't
yeah.
know what to expect, but
Great
it's a huge
turnout.
convention.
It was a great turnout. Yeah, and again, thank you for representing Syosset as a community. We really have just such great pride in what we offer our children, and as a library, you know, we plan on just moving forward as to how we can bring our community together and just continue to improve on the foundations that are being laid for the children from, I think, day one. Really, it's just such a great community.
I spent a lot of time at the Syosset Library when I lived there growing up, and I just think that there's nothing that could replace the magic when you discover a new book when you're young, and a new fairy tale, things that have been around maybe for thousands of years, but you're 5 years old, 6 years old, and it's the first time you're discovering it. And so I think what you do is great. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I do love my job. All right, thanks so much, and that's a wrap.
It's time to close this chapter of Turn the Page. Join us for the next episode.